Hi YouTube. I have an acquaintance here who has a very good story concerning the judicial system and sovereigns. It's and I will let him tell you the story. Take it away.
I have a client who's a circuit court judge.
For Maryland.
Maybe.
Oh.
And I've known this gentleman for quite some time. We've had numerous conversations which always were marked by frank and honest discourse. And several months ago, 4 months ago, I brought up the notion of the sovereign man, to which he kind of expressed a little bit of uneasiness or unsuredness or
Disdain.
uneducated knowledge of. And I brought up the subject again yesterday, to which I was met with a much more forceful pushback, which caught me by surprise, given our first encounter and our first brief discussion. And the judge made mention of the amount of money that various agencies, probably federal and state, the amount of money that was being spent on continuing education courses, CE courses, to inform the agents of the court how to deal with the more frequent occasion that judges and lawyers are having when met with an individual who claims sovereignty.
So the long and short of it is that our government is spending a lot of money to teach the judges, lawyers, whomever, how to deal with, subdue, take care of the sovereign movement. Is that what it is?
It was more how to marginalize or intimidate or
Those are good words.
seed doubt
Right.
in the sovereign's mind that they're pushing a string, that they're rowing,
That it'll work.
upstream, that they're pushing and fighting a losing battle.
So is it just me, or do you see this as almost confirmation that the sovereign movement has teeth and that they're concerned about it enough that they're going to spend tons of money training these people on how to deal with it?
Um,
How do you see it?
it's the discussion that I had
With the judge?
with the judge was kind of a who's in the position to say that the king has no clothes.
Right.
If the sovereign is right and pushes the issue, then he or she is pointing out that the judge and the lawyers have no clothes on. They're wrong. If the judge or the public prosecutor, if they can convince the sovereign that he has no clothes on, then the sovereign stands down.
But that sounds like what the training is about. It sounds to me, now I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but it sounds to me as if the sovereign movement does have teeth, and because of that, our government feels the need to spend a lot of money to educate judicial people on how to make it seem as if that's not the case. That's my interpretation, because I can't imagine why else they would spend so much money, quote unquote, teaching them what I would think they should already know.
Well,
That's my take. I don't know what your take is.
it gets back to not every attorney is a genius attorney, and not every
Well, no kidding.
judge is a genius judge. They only know what they're taught. And if we come back to the concept that perception is reality, if the lion's share of the public believes that they are sovereign, that they are not held beholden to the laws of the king's court, then the battle's already been won. And what I got the impression is that they're trying to, through intimidation, and he has admitted that he has, in dealing with,
The judge has admitted.
yes, in dealing with these folks that put forth a sovereign argument, they get sent to the county lockup where they get to cool their heels for a weekend or so. Kind of in a cool hand Luke fashion, they get a chance to get their mind right, and then they can come back and apologize and say, yes, I am John Smith and I did this, and inevitably it turns out to be a fairly insignificant traffic case with either probation before judgment or...
But the fact is that the judge uses his intimidation and power, right or wrong, he uses it to basically smack them down so that they don't come back with something stronger next time.
Correct.
Isn't that kind of what's going on?
The idea that...
Because, trust me, if they took me off to jail, I'd be like, never mind, it's okay.
Well, that
won't do
was
it
another
again.
facet of the conversation. For this really to work, and this is information that I don't know if I revealed earlier, for an actual sovereign case to work, you have to have three things all fall into place at the same time. You have to have a willing victim, if you will, that's going to be happy and comfortable forfeiting lots of their freedom to sit in jail while the process works. You have to have an independently wealthy individual that's going to be able to make all their monthly
sustain the jail
payments
time.
and keep their house and livelihood in order. Then you have to find an attorney that not only is well versed in this legal issue, but also believes in the legal issue. And then you have to have the financial wherewithal to pay the attorney.
Right.
And when those three things happen, the last one is the intended victim has to be stubborn and hard-headed enough that they're going to continue to beat their head against the wall while the gears of the judicial system grind things to a pulp.
But yet again, I have to say that's why this makes it so interesting to me that they are taking so much money to train these people, these judges, lawyers, whomever, on how to fight sovereigns. They must see this as a huge threat, or they would not be spending the money. Even though they've sent them to jail, they've, ridiculed them, tried to financially ruin them, whatever they're doing. They must see this as a very big threat. If not now, for tomorrow, the next day, and that's why they're training them now. That's my take on it. I think this is a huge story.
I would agree.
All right. Well, I thank you for telling it. And I sure as hell hope I can upload this. Take good care, folks.